Here's a question from Mark D. My son is 7 and has been raised secular so far, but is now meeting other kids raised in religious families. How should I explain what they are doing to my son? Meaning like not what these families are doing to his son, but like what their rituals are. How do they explain that to his son? Very good question.
I don't know if this is what, as somebody that is not an expert in parenting, I'm going to tell you what I think what I would do, what I would probably do. However, I'm not an expert, and you shouldn't take my answer as a official expert guidance. Like, maybe do some research on this. But if it was me, I would use this as an opportunity, because the conclusions that your kids come up with at these ages are not the conclusions that they're going to stick by. So you don't have to worry about, like, I mean, how many kids who believe in Santa ended up believing in Santa as an adult, right? You don't have to worry about what conclusions your child is coming up with right now. What matters right now is to try to get your kid to work on its imagination skills, creative thinking skills, curiosity, like developing that sense of curiosity. So instead of telling my kid that, oh no, they're wrong, don't believe that, these people are delusional, blah blah blah, I would just, like, if my kid brings these topics up, I would ask questions. They're like, oh really, what do you think? They say this, what do you think about it? What do you think? Oh, okay. And do you think it's true? And it doesn't, and there is no wrong answers at this point, right? Like, you're just encouraging, like, you keep asking, if he or she asks you a question, you also give your opinion, but you don't make it, but then you ask him or her their opinion. Okay, what do you think? And then if they give an answer, you keep asking them to elaborate. Maybe they keep creating a worldview, and what you're doing is that you're making them exercise their imagination muscles, right? It doesn't really matter at this point that they have the right answer. They're creating a worldview, and they're imagining things in their head, and they're seeing those things in their head, and their imagination is getting stronger and stronger, right? So this is the point where you just get them to think about things, and also to try to communicate what they're thinking with you, so that their communication skills becomes important as well. Don't worry about them having drawn conclusions at this point. That's my opinion.
Yeah, obviously I'm not a parent. Well, actually, I don't know how obvious that is, but my advice is very similar to Armin's. Like, talk about these things, but try to imbue a sense of skepticism with them. So be like, oh, if they believe this, maybe think, like, maybe say it in a different way that's age appropriate. Like, oh, well, they believe this. Is there any way we could test that? You know, like, how do we? Not exactly, like I said, like, not exactly
test
like that.
That's like, no, just be like, what do you think?
Mm-hmm.
Oh really? And then, like, let's say I think this and this. I'm like, oh really? And why? Just be like, just keep them talking. Like, let's say, like, I think Jesus and Santa are friends. Like, it doesn't really matter. Just be like, oh really? Okay, and how do you know that? Or what do they do? You know, when they're friends, and they're like, they keep, if they say, like, I think they go out, and I don't know, I think they both live in the North Pole or something. I'm like, okay, what do they do in the North Pole? Just get them talking, just get them imagining things and communicating with you their imagination. You could, like, other skills could come up later. This is not the time to be like, make them upset that they believed in something that was stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I guess, yeah, like, street epistemology is probably too much for a 7-year-old.
Yeah. They're like, your ideology is not consistent. You little idiot. Like, don't you see the contradictions within your belief? Like, no, that's not the time. This is not the right time for this, right? Just, yeah.
Hey guys, if you're a fan of blasphemy and sexy Callie, like me, then you need to be sure to subscribe to our newsletter, link in the description below. Because if you subscribe, we will send you a free copy of our blasphemous art ebook. And let me tell you, it is the tastiest blasphemy that you can find anywhere available today. And we are so generous with our blasphemy that we continue to send you more blasphemy every week. So make sure to subscribe, link in the description below.